Hey everyone, and welcome to PGN Live. It is Monday, the start of a new week. We are halfway into December. It is December 15th, 2025. Quite a fast year, quite a fast month. But you know what they say, time flies when you're having fun, right? The Game Awards was last week. Quite a successful event, I would say. I have a very positive outlook based off of conversations had at the show, because in addition to seeing everything that was shown, not like developers said, hey, we're also working on the following projects. I did get to talk to developers in which some clarified that, hey, we are working on games that have not been shown. Okay, cool. And what was shown was already kind of cool. Knowing that there's more is always positive without even necessarily being told what, just that, hey, there's more on the way. Some of that's obvious, but always good to get a little bit of clarification. And then specifically pertaining to Nintendo Switch 2, more will be shown from our studios at a later time. So that's positive. And that makes me that much more excited for 2026, because I thought that 2025 was great. We had a brand new console launch, plenty of good games to kick off a brand new generation in Nintendo Switch 2. But yeah, what's to come? Well, we'll be here for the journey. Let's see for now who is here in my chat. Let me pop this out. Give me just a moment. I think people are already here. And yes, we've got KongDonk69 saying hi. I'm Not a Plant says hello. Corey Boehm says Paul. Switch 2 system updates fixes HDR hiccups. Also good to know. Welcome on in. I hope the 3+ of you are doing well today so far. Thank you for being here. This will be probably a little bit of a short stream, but we'll still have fun with the time that we've got. And okay, cool. Everything's looking good right now. One of the big things to talk about, of course, is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Oof, that is approaching. That's one of the headlines today, because we got new footage that we already went over, kind of, from the Game Awards. Obviously, I have that on my channel right now. We've got the Street Fighter movie. Also, hype. That one's in October, so we've got kind of, first third of the year Mario movie. And then, the last quarter of the year Street Fighter movie. Of course, the Zelda film will be dropping in 2027. And if you're just into cool stuff in general, we've got Supergirl coming out in June. We've got a pair of new monster movies. Godzilla Minus Zero is on the way. And on the MonsterVerse side, we have Godzilla Kong Supernova. Dang, it's a cool time. Avengers. Oh man, dude. If you like entertainment, if you're into pop culture stuff, video games, comic book stuff, superheroes, monsters, The Boys is coming back soon. Stranger Things will be wrapping up soon. Something else is like on the verge of coming back. Oh, a brand new season of Monarch. The announcement of a prequel series to Monarch, which is kind of wild. I forgot if they announced the name of what that series is going to be, but yeah, a lot of cool stuff. What are you all looking forward to? Game, movie, TV series? What has you hyped for 2026? Hmon661 saying, "Hi, Paul. I saw you met Todd Howard and Troy Baker. Nice. Yeah. Troy Baker, that's the second time we met. He recognized me from last year's The Game Awards, which was neat. I guess it's not too hard to recognize me because last year I was wearing the same suit. I had my nice Oppo suit of Super Mario Brothers with a black shirt last year, I think. And then this year, I guess I wore a red shirt. Is that right? I think I haven't had a red shirt on. Yeah. So it was the same suit, but he recognized me, and we had a nice picture together, a nice little conversation. He was nice, and like you said, Todd Howard too. That was a first. So despite me being in the industry for quite some time, that's the first time we've met. So yeah, it's a big yet small, or a small yet big world of gaming, I guess you could say. There are a lot of folks out there, and you could have been around for a long time and still not have met someone. Like, despite being really big into the fighting game community, I didn't meet Ed Boon for the first time until a couple of years ago. And then now I've met him a couple of times, but yeah, it took quite a while before Ed Boon and I, first got properly introduced. So there you go. And of course, the Game Awards also had, plenty of folks that allowed for us to be in the same venue at the same time, in which we used to have guaranteed every year. Like, I used to see, like right here, Alana Pierce more regularly at E3 and such. Or Fran Mirabella the Third. Fran Mirabella the Third. Former editor for IGN. Almost yearly at E3. Some of these folks I stay in contact with over the years, like on X and Facebook and stuff. But in person, a little bit more rare. So like Alana, it was great catching up with for the first time, I think, since 2019 when we hung out at E3, and that might have been the last time. But yeah, these events are tremendous. Celia B over here, Justine, Kit and Krista. Yeah. That's got to be the most fun for me going to these events is the people, the talking, the networking. The awards given, I'm proud and I'm happy for the developers that won, but I could watch them win online. The trailers shown, excellent, but I could see those trailers online. But getting to hang out, have fun, share stories, laugh, take pictures, make videos, etc. with industry friends of old and create some new bonds, that's a unique experience that you only get in person, David Patterson, what's up there? Kong Donk saying, looking forward to Pragmata port. Yeah, that was a nice little look. Game looks nice. In general, it looks like a fun action game. Capcom's one of my favorite developers. They always have been. I've been a Capcom fan since Mega Man and Street Fighter in 1987. Capcom goes back with me as far running parallel to Nintendo, as Nintendo does. I was a fan of Super Mario Brothers and of Mega Man, of Super Mario World and Final Fight, of Metroid, Zelda, Donkey Kong, and, obviously Street Fighter, Mega Man X, Ghouls and Ghosts. And then, Capcom had that new wave of Resident Evil eventually, and Onimusha, Devil May Cry, and, Nintendo continuing, of course, down the road with the likes of Pikmin, of course, Star Fox prior to that, Wii Sports, and you've got plenty of times where Nintendo and Capcom have worked so well together that, yeah, Pragmata, new game, big game, coming out next year. Also getting an amiibo on Nintendo Switch 2. You've got that Resident Evil Requiem support. Speaking of Requiem, we've got that Leon Kennedy footage where we kind of knew that he was going to be in the games. There were some rumors, hints suggesting that Leon Kennedy is going to be playable or in it in some capacity. And then, like, that was the official reveal trailer of it. Okay, and there's going to be some, you know, more horror, survival, tense kind of non-actiony moments and some more action-packed stuff. And there will be this split in the gameplay. That sounds fun. Looking forward to it. Resident Evil 4 remains my favorite entry in the series. So, I have high hopes for Requiem. Paul, what did you think of Divinity from the Game Awards? That looks promising. J Biggs, Mr. NY for Life. What's up to everyone in the Galeverse? What's up? Did you get a photo of all of the wrestlers? No. Oh, well, yes, kind of, yes, of them, but not with them. So when the Street Fighter cast came on stage, I did record that segment and got a couple of pictures, but not with them. That would have been pretty cool. Oh, man, as a huge Street Fighter fan myself, to get to meet in person, have a photo op with, Jason Momoa, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Eric Andre, and just the whole cast of Street Fighter would be so cool. Oh, yeah. Lao Boys, looks like a lot of third parties coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, definitely. Paul, what's your personal game of the year? Good question, Kong Dunk. Unless if I change it up in the next 16 days, my game of the year is Donkey Kong Bonanza. Mortal Kombat 2 coming 2026. Yeah. You got Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Super Mario Galaxy. 3 old school, 90s franchises, although Mario is from the 80s. But, yeah, 3 big gamer movies next year. Love it. I am good. Just got back from the doctors. Saw Paul was live, so I jumped on. Going to play some Metroid Prime 4 afterwards. Well, J Biggs, I hope that the doctor appointment went well, and welcome on the stream. And I hope you have fun later playing Metroid. Keep an eye on the Xbox Developer Direct Showcase. Something might come to Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, we already have, Indiana Jones on its way, Fallout on its way, South of Midnight. That's a game that I was meaning to pick up. Like, I enjoy that vibe. I like Swamp Thing. I like, Cajun, Bayou, Louisiana swampy kind of lore and the happenings around there, including Cajun food. But that looked like a fun game. I just didn't get a chance to play it, so I'm looking forward to that. Street Fighter adaptation reboot should be cool. Hello, Paul and everyone else. R.I.P. Rob Rayner. That was a very shocking, sad piece of news that came. Gosh, was it Sunday morning or Saturday night? I don't know what happened there. But yeah, that's not good. Cult of Lamb is back with an expansion. Hopefully you could pick if you want to play as Leon or Ash. Jordan Andrews, what's up? I hope to bring back WWF or possible DLC. You have to put the one up for Roman. Your tribal chief, I acknowledge it. Bonanza is your goatee too. Cool. No Half-Life 3 at the Game Awards. No Casual Grim. That's true. I really hope to see Switch 2 logos on the new Tomb Raider games. I agree. How come I was not cast in that Street Fighter movie? Asks Corey Boehm. That's a good darn question. Man. As awesome as it would be to be like cast in the Legend of Zelda movie as something, probably my best hope, right? Realistically, semi-realistically for the Zelda movie would be a Hylian guard, a Hylian knight. You know what I mean? But in Street Fighter, oh, I could. That's up my jam. That's up my jam to be a smaller character, background character, random guy that one of the main cast of Street Fighter fights, who's not a named world warrior on stage. Like, that is up my alley, because if martial arts performance is needed in some capacity, I could sell. Heck yeah, dude. I would love to be in the Street Fighter movie. Man. Could I pull off any of the actual characters? I mean, they already have a cast established, but I suppose Ken is someone who I could most accurately portray, right? Based off of height, weight, maybe. You dye the hair color. I don't know. I don't know. Even though Ryu's like my favorite. Holy smokes! Steak 1024, woo, with the 20 gifted memberships out of nowhere. My goodness. That's what I'm talking about. Holy smokes, Steak 1024. That's a shot of adrenaline if I've ever seen one this morning. Big thank you. Oh, that was from before. Wow. Out of nowhere. Man, you've got my gratitude. Thank you so much, Steak 1024, for the super generous $20. I'm trying to catch up on chat, and now this is going to take me a bit to read this off. Excellent support. Thank you. You know, thanks to support like this, we're getting close. We might hit that dual goal kind of 8,000 members / 500, or 8,000 subscribers / 500 members by the end of the year. Because this kind of support is awesome. And then you've got some awesome happenings on the channel recently, like that Mario video that I have up. It's got like 97,000 views. It's a pretty good sized video. Like 280 new people subscribed thanks to that video. This is a monster. So we might get there. But man, amazing support once again, Steak. Thank you so much. Art Vandalay, Lorinda, Big Tony, Kitsune, Sup Fanboys, Zach Patterson, Sergio, Weagles, Baller, PCW, Elias, Nintendo, Chad Baptiste, Punkin King, Pokefan Master, Mavis Winter, Bad Latencies, Succorp, Stanley the Dog, Neotend. I think that's it. I think my fingers said and if I didn't say Lorinda. I think I said 9. I think I called out 19 or 20. Yeah. But that's obviously 20. Excellent. Hmon with the whoa. Kongdonk with the whoa. Hmon with a nice steak. See to that. Paul, how big does Olivia Richards look in real life? That's the actor as Zangief, correct? Gosh. Talk about someone who got properly casted, if that's who I'm thinking of. that actor, if that is who I'm thinking about, who they cast as Zangief, dang, that's a big dude. He's pretty fit for the role, I'd say. Yeah. My favorites were always Chun-Li, E. Honda, and Blanca. Wasn't Art Vandelay from Seinfeld. Tabby Cat Games, hi there. Return to Silent Hill coming early 2026. Crazy Scoth, what's up? Tabby Cat with a nice to steak. Heck yeah. Jam Powers, oh, what did everybody think of that raccoon game? Yeah, that was shown off at the Game Awards. Hopefully that's coming to Switch too. I want to play it. Yeah, Zangief. Yeah. Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. If I'm not mistaken, that's from the David Soliani, former developer of Mario plus Rabbids. So that was a nice little surprise, or a big surprise, I should say. Like, that's up my jam. That's the kind of platforming action adventure game that, is a genre that I'm very familiar with, that I'm a big fan of. Super down with that. The Last Airbender adaptation coming out with a new season. True. Joycey J. Hey, Paul. Hey, y'all. Working and lurking. Fallout Season 2 gonna drop in 2 days. Also true. Rumor. Half-Life 3 with Steam Machine and Persona 6. Yeah, if Valve wants to make a big impact with the Steam Machine, they'd be like, all right, Half-Life 3. We've been working on this for a while. It is epic. And it is coming exclusively to the Steam Machine, Steam Deck, and our VR apparatuses, right? That'd be a big impact right there. I will be there day one for South of Midnight. Twisted Metal. Yeah, Twisted Metal. So I actually haven't seen the second season yet because my wife and we've just been watching so many shows, and we were really big fans of the first Twisted Metal season. Definitely got to check out the second one. And we will. And Dexter. The Dexter sequel series. Kind of disappointed that they canceled Youngblood, or First Blood? The prequel series. After one season. It was so good. It was such a good first season. And they're just switching all gears to the sequel series. Which we haven't seen the new sequel series yet. But yeah, a lot of good gaming content. God of War is going to have their live action adaptation series. That's going to be pretty dope. Mega Man 40th anniversary. Oh, in 2 years, right? Yeah, 1987. So 2027, we're getting a new Mega Man game next year. Is pretty dope. Jason Momoa and Paul in one film is just too hot for the average population. That's true. I mean, what would happen if you had Jason Momoa as Blanca and see, I can't take the role of Ken. Ken's already been cast. I can't take the role of Gale. He's a little bit too tall for me, a little bit too much mass. I mean, I could put on mass, but that would take some time. My frame isn't currently set to be, big kind of bulking character. Honestly, Fei Long is about the frame that I'm at right now. But, I don't have Asian features to necessarily pull off an accurate Fei Long. I mean, then again, like Ryu has been portrayed differently over the years, despite being a Japanese man, has been drawn quite often over the years to look more, like Caucasian white-like. But yeah, to be more accurate, even though I love Ryu, I probably wouldn't make the most faithful look of the character. But Ken, yeah. Dang it. I just want to be in Street Fighter. I wasn't cast because I didn't audition. I'd be the guy walking around the background. Yeah, CJM Powers, I'd be happy to be a background walking guy too. I don't need a big role. I just want to be in Street Fighter. Heck, I could play I could play the character that I was in Street Fighter 4, the video game, in which I played myself in that. Ah. I want the dog game to come to Switch too. The dog game, Pokemon Fan 34. Dog game, dog game. I'm not sure which dog game. Bradley the Badger coming to Switch 2 and next Direct. Is that you with Kit and Krista? Yeah, that's Kit and Krista and me. Just at the Game Awards. Yeah. God of War adaptation. Yeah. I was talking about that. I feel Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition could release in April to coincide with the movie. Code Vein 2 is early 2026. Who will get Bradley the Badger? You lost the role of Johnny Cage to Carl Urban. Yeah, I think Johnny Cage. Mortal Kombat, I could pull off Johnny Cage. I remember The Miz really wanted to be Johnny Cage in the sequel. And I think he would have done a good job. Miz is a fun, over-the-top, capable WWE superstar. You know, he's got the look, he's got the attitude. He could act cocky. Got the physique. Miz would be a good Johnny Cage. Yeah. Paul, did you run into Gamebird? Yes, I did. There's a photo of the two of us. Here. Yeah. That was fun. Gamebird and I met up before the show started. Didn't grab a picture. It's always risky. When you're talking to a friend or making a new friend, in this case, Gamebird and I have talked to each other multiple times on streams, collaborative stuff, podcasts, that kind of thing, but just haven't met in person yet till now. It's risky. If you talk and don't do a photo first, because you might not get the chance later. So make acquaintance, grab a quick picture, then have your conversation and have fun and stuff like that, because you might not see each other later in the event. We ended up seeing each other later as well. Like, this was taken after the Game Awards ended. But we stayed in contact via DMs kind of throughout the night a little bit to be like, hey, let's meet here before or after and stuff, you know. Yeah, but that was cool. He was fun. He was nice. We took a couple of photos. Robert Safazon over here. I had some friends from all over. Julia Wezio, Campbell Ingraham, Amir Satvat. Yeah. Troy Baker, we mentioned earlier. Looks like Ubisoft acquires Amazon Games Montreal. Great photo. Thank you. Did you meet Devin? Devin who? No, Devin Pritchard. No, I haven't. I did not see her, I should say, at the show. That would have been nice. But no. By the way, this video right here is as close to viral as you could hope for a small channel like me that has just under 8,000 subscribers to get a 97,000 video. That's like way up there, which is super duper cool. If you haven't, chat, there's 23 of you watching now. if you haven't already, I would appreciate it if you could click that link that I just dropped, like the video, comment, and if you have 3 hypes that you are able to give since it's a brand new week, and don't mind dropping 3 hypes on that video, along with a like and a comment, maybe that little boost will help plug that 97,000 video back into the algorithm of cool things to watch and get it to that 100,000, you know? Because, dang, is that that's a hot video. This one, too, but you could see the difference. First, for some reason, I just didn't, I mean, I recorded these back to back. I just didn't put up the Street Fighter one until later. And you could see Super Mario, I acted on it fast, 97,000. Street Fighter, I put it up later, 915. I mean, like, hey, I'm still happy with 915. That's still awesome. It's almost 1,000 right there. But that makes a little bit more sense. Like, oh, okay, a channel to have with 8,000 subscribers to have a video that does 1,000. All right, that's an eighth, you know, instead of a channel with 8,000 subscribers to do 97,000. That's a monster. That's, 13 times the amount of people subscribed ended up watching it. Wild. But yeah, I probably should have put the Street Fighter one up right away too, because if I did, maybe the Street Fighter one would have been closer to what Mario is, but whatever. Anyways, yeah. Those 2 videos, if you don't mind liking, commenting, being so gracious with your 3 hypes, I'd appreciate it. Maybe we get that Mario one to 100K, and maybe Street Fighter crosses 1,000. Tabby Cat Games, thank you. Pokemon Fan 34, thank you. Dank Beam Center X, any thoughts on TGAs should pull a Grammy 1989 within limiting wins for participating trophies for others, despite one game clearly outshining them all? So, like, you could only win so many. Like, if you're nominated for all of the following, and if it's known that perhaps you're going to win the overall one, limit the amount of categories you're eligible for beneath it. That's an interesting take. I don't know. I mean, if you're the best of the best and happen to be the best in every category, then rightfully so, take your prize. As long as it's actually deserved, I suppose. Like, just because, let's say you are the shoo-in for winning Game of the Year, and you were nominated for Best Voice Acting Cast of the Year. But let's say, no, there was actually another game that did deliver better lines of dialogue with a stronger, more compelling voice cast. I think that other game should win. You could be eligible, but just because you win Game of the Year doesn't mean you also win by default Best Voice Cast of the Year, you know? I think I know what you mean, though. Did I get a photo with a Street Fighter cast? No. Thank you, Corey Bohm. Oh. Short attention span nonsense always wins. I still don't have the hype feature. You don't have the hype feature? Okay, Crazy Scott. For videos, the hype feature should show up. Like, on the videos, if you click the video, and I think you scroll from the right side, swipe towards your left, it'll go from comment section to hype, if I'm not mistaken. Would I enter the Evo tournament? I wouldn't win it, but I wouldn't mind participating in it. I mean, I love Street Fighter. My best chance at winning anything at Evo would be in Street Fighter because I'm pretty good, but not like champion level. I mean, these folks that enter Evo really know how to play. Arc Raiders update tomorrow. Final day of my school semester today. One more final left. I hope you do well. That's awesome. I was right about Jennifer English, who won, yeah, for Claire Obscure. For context, Michael Jackson swept with Thriller, and his following album, Bad, was heat, and the voter used his influence to get attention, knowing they aren't giving him awards for unique winners. Can only hype 3 times a week, unfortunately. Hey, Lily Young, if you were so kind as to be that generous and give that video 3 hypes, I am already very grateful for it. The hype feature is mobile at the moment, to be another dose of Zanky. Well, thank you, Dink. So that's good to know. I guess you have to use your smartphone or some type of mobile apparatus to hype. Dang it. I wish I didn't have to have such a short stream. I either started too late or had, well, I guess started a little bit too late. I might have to have a second stream today because I feel like we just barely started talking. I mean, we've already been on for 35 minutes. I said when I first started this stream, it's going to be a little bit of a short stream, probably like half the length. I don't know if I specified how long would short be, but I like to hit my normal, Nintendo 64 minute mark at least. And on the short end, at least half of that, which I guess we already did, but it's just been such a flowing, fun stream so far. I'm going to have to probably hop on a second time because I've got to leave soon. And I had a feeling like, oh, dude, we're gonna run out of time right when the going gets hot. I want to talk more about 2026, more about what you're hyped about. What are your most anticipated games next year that you know of? What would be like your top pick for something not yet revealed? Super ambitious, unrealistic, slightly realistic, but still hyped for. Like, I want to know this stuff, I want to share with you mine, too. Natsu is here. What's up? Jordan Andrews, what's up again? LOL, I need to get back to trying to finish Prime 4. The boss is kind of annoying for the wrong reason. Assassin's Creed adaptation, TV series. Paul, can't guarantee because there could always be upsets, and if you're limiting before nominations are finalized, then you would be saying either the winners are known or there is upset over nothing. Yeah, like, I remember Electronic Gaming Monthly back in the day, they ended up limiting the Game of the Year winner would not be eligible, if I'm not mistaken, for every other category because they felt if this game happened to have the best art design, happened to also be the best action game, kind of classifies as an adventure, so wins action and adventure with art design, was the studio that produced the best graphics, had the biggest budget, so therefore likely had the best, most realized, orchestrated composure in it, and won Game of the Year. It's like, there you won 7 categories. And okay, you didn't win best fighting game, you didn't win best puzzle game, but everything else. So, if I'm not mistaken, EGM back in the day, they did have a thing where the overall Game of the Year couldn't also win like everything else, even if it seemingly deserved it. It's sort of an interesting thing, like, yeah. If something is the best of the best and it's fair to say, then yeah. I mean, that's what nominees are for. That's what multiple different studios, or multiple different sites, I should say, have it. But do people put a lot of faith, a lot of stock in to the Game Awards specifically because it's so publicized and so big, so public? Also true. But you have plenty of websites and magazines and outlets, maybe not so much magazines these days, but plenty of outlets that have their own individual, you know, awards that they give out. And across the globe too. You've got Japan with Famitsu with their own series. I remember in 2023, for instance, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom actually won the most amount of overall Game of the Year awards that year, despite Baldur's Gate 3 winning at the Game Awards, specifically. I think there should be a cap on how many awards one game can win. Game of the Year included every major aspect that make a quality game, so in theory, it should be nominated for the staple categories. Licensed music should not be in contention with original pieces. Yeah, that's fair. Like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Amazing soundtrack. But 30 licensed songs from, popular artists over the last couple of decades. Is that fair to put up in best music category against something that is completely from the ground up, like Donkey Kong Bonanza? I would say not. 2 categories? Best use of licensed music versus best original soundtrack in a game? Yeah. I mean, you could just start making more and more categories. Talion and Furnace, what themes do you think they will put in the Galaxy movie? Oh, well, I think they're going to use some of the themes, like songs, like Gusty Gardens Galaxy and that kind of stuff. Be Mario jingle. I think there's gonna be plenty. Galaxy movie's gonna have plenty. I see a popular comment that a lot of people are talking about, asking is, where's Yoshi? Where's Yoshi? I think Yoshi's gonna be seen. There's a big part of me that I'm okay without another trailer. I would rather go into April with what I've seen and be blown away by the Mario Galaxy movie. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But there's another part of me that's like, dude, I could go for one more trailer in February. But then no more else. Don't spoil it, because I'll figure it out. I want to be treated to these beautiful scenes for the first time as is, as they come to me. But yeah, I think Yoshi will pop up in a trailer. It'll be interesting to see if Yoshi is voiced by one more particular actor of a certain name or recognition that's notable, or will there not be? Hard to say. I heavily disagree. Outlets that vote clearly don't play all the games that make the cut to be semi-objective about what should win. Capping awards amount is unfair to the time spent. I guess I'm too easy. If a game is that good, it deserves a sweep. Doesn't mean the other nominees aren't good. Did wish some other games got some love. Believe it was narrative or game direction they use. Innovative in description. And 3 or 4 were sequels. Yvonne Francois saying hi there. One more trailer would be good. True. Yoshi, voiced by Paul Gale. Yoshi! I'll do Yoshi. Give me Yoshi. I'll do Yoshi's voice gladly. Yeah. I'll do it for free $99. Yeah. To be the voice of Yoshi in the movie. Whew. What an honor. What an honor. Well, dang it. It's not as long as a stream as I wanted it to be, but it is longer than I thought. The stream needs to be longer because it's just too much fun and we're on a roll. And just like that, Roger Enyart with 10. Big 10 love right there. Thank you so much, Roger. See, now I feel even worse in closing out the stream. We will continue. I think we will continue. And I think when we continue, we're just going to keep this going right here because we're off to such a great start. We've got such great support this morning from Roger Enyart now. And earlier from Steak 1024, Roger Enyart 2066. Thank you so much for the support. We're going to pick off. So we will continue later. We'll keep this 30 on top here. If we get to our Nintendo $64 goal, we will be giving out a 3-pack set of Super Mario 3D All-Stars coins, courtesy of Roger Enyart. Before we go, though, we've got to read Roger's awesome 10 gifted members, including Echo, Miranda Pirilio, Echo Tank, Nova Knight, Mason Burchett, Sonic World, Edu Dito, Guyina, SB Gaiman, and Titanium Solid. Whew. Big W, Roger. The chat is saying so. I say so. Thank you. Talion and Furnace, I hope Bowser's the main villain still has to be. Bowser / Bowser Jr., some team up between the two. Yeah. I had an idea following the first movie that Wario and Waluigi could appear in the second. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but that would be pretty cool. May I give a quick self-promo? Yeah, sure, Tabby. Go for it. Type it in there before we go, because we're gonna head out in a moment. I'm gonna drop this one last time. This is the Super Mario Galaxy video. If you don't mind hitting that like button on it, giving it that triple hype, commenting, maybe we get that Mario Galaxy video to 100,000. And this is the Street Fighter video with a little bit of hype or liking. We might get that one to 1,000. Isn't that crazy? The goal for one is 100,000. The goal for the other is 1,000. That couldn't be that couldn't be further off. But hey, you gotta appreciate the small goals, the small gifts. You gotta appreciate the small wins and the big wins, because anything positive is positive in life. If you turn your head to $1 dono, you're not grateful. If you're only looking at the, I need $100 dono, then that's too conceited. You got to be appreciative of everything. I appreciate you all being here for your time. If you're able to donate, if you're able to contribute, gift a membership, become a subscriber yourself, extra thank you, extra gratitude. But just being here, just watching, just liking, always means a lot to me. Likewise for the videos. I get a video with 500 views, I'm like, man, I put more effort into that short than 500 views, but that's 500 views. That's a lot. I get a video with 14,000. Wow, is it extra cool? But never be non-appreciative of life, of anything positive that comes your way, you know? Like that peanut butter jelly sandwich that was made for you, that you didn't have to make yourself, and value the person's time that they put into making you that sandwich. Value the steak and the taste of someone crafting over the frying pan and putting seasoning and butter and all that junk in there to make something of a higher caliber. And you got to look at friendships like that in life. Got to look at a compliment like that in life. You got to take all of the wins you can. That's just a little bit of a food for thought. So at the end of the day, I'm grateful for y'all being here, and thank you so much. Tabby Cat Games has a 7 p.m. gaming tab podcast. That's her announcement. So it's 7 o'clock tonight. She just dropped a link also. And also said that Paul Gale Network has great membership perks. It's worth it, y'all. You heard it herself. You heard it there. And Pokemon Fan 34 is saying it's worth it too. All right, gosh. Well, I went from having a short stream in my mind of like, let's try to get 32 minutes to we just hit 50 basically. Not so short anymore, but still shorter than a normal. We will continue later for more. We'll keep the board up here. We're already at 30 out of 64. We might hit the 64 today, and give out something pretty sweet. Thank you all for being here. Take it easy. Roger and your Steak 1024, thank you once again for your contribution. Thank you all for being here, and thanks in advance for any likes or hype that you send my way. I'll be back though. My thought is like 12:30. I'm gonna try to be back on 12:30, which would be 12:30 p.m. Pacific, 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern. All right, that's kind of my goal of the time.